Take that same girl, stick her in Nazi Germany. Ah! Hi everybody, it's PJ. You're just gonna get ready with me this morning. I mean, I'm not gonna do a tutorial, you can just watch me. And I'm gonna talk about a couple things that have driven me a little batty lately. So, I had a wonderful birthday, as you saw. I posted that yesterday. It was just ridiculously amazing. My girls are like beyond the shit. Like my kids, my girls. I am like so loved. Sometimes it's like ridiculously overwhelming. Like why one person is so deserving of that much attention. I don't know. And I'm one of those girls, like I have girls in my room who like refuse to work on their birthday. They think it's like, what? Working on your birthday? Oh my God. And I'm like not of that. Like I think, you know, it's just another day. I had quite a few of them in my lifetime. But they never, like they always make it special and takes me out of that kind of, I don't know if it's coldness or whatever I have that's different from other people. And I have that a lot. I'm not the same as other people. Like, I'm not jealous. I don't know what it like really feels like to be super jealous. Like, I don't have, I don't know if it's just me or if it's that I like learned the peace that you need inside yourself, but that's what I want to talk about. So, I don't even know if I believe this, but this one girl that I watch, she's very YouTube famous, has gone through, supposedly I'll say, gone through a relationship and a breakup with this guy on the internet, on YouTube. Very typically childishly, like the things that I used to get a lot when I would do the psychic line, okay? Because on the psychic line, people would call and tell me, you know, I didn't know who they were. They couldn't, I couldn't call up their friends and tell, so they would tell me things that they thought or felt or did. And I would just be like, wow, I'm so grateful I don't have that bone. But after a while, I started seeing patterns of it. And I'm only going to talk about women because I don't know how men feel. I just know how they react and what they said after things like this. So that's what we're going to talk about, some love advice. So let's start with the worst, which is jealousy. And especially if it's unfounded. Like, I completely understand that if somebody is shady, then they're shady. Like, and usually, honestly, in most cases, if it walks like a fucking duck, you know, it is. Like, if he hides his phone, then there's something he's hiding. But the other side to that is you have no right to demand his phone. So, and here's what happened on that relationship. She said she acted crazy because she has a mental problem. And that's not true. I've seen that same behavior, and maybe that makes her feel better to say it's her mental problem or something, but it's not. I've seen that same behavior in 1,000 people. And usually what it is somebody who wants attention no matter what. Good, bad, ugly, indifferent. It doesn't matter as long as they get the attention they're seeking. And the problem with that behavior is men that I've noticed, okay, as an observer, like men don't have time for that. so like they just don't have the same emotional need to constantly be reassured. And that gets frankly exhausting to men, and they don't respond well to it. Girls get in relationships and they have some preconceived ideas about the man that they're with. Like, everybody's unsure of a new relationship. They don't know if you're like a bad guy, a good guy, a user, a gonna take advantage guy. a talker, a this or that, like, you know, and everybody in the beginning of a relationship puts their best foot forward, as they should. They should do that, okay? There's like nothing wrong with that, and that's what we do as humans. So know that going in, just know that, okay, well, this is the best this guy has given me, but let's see what he's like when, you know, somebody cuts him off in his car or something. Like, similarly, you are being the best that you can be. You're not, like, everybody says, well, I'm real. No, real is, you know, bad menstrual cramps and, like, like, pissed off at your mom or sister or something, and they say something wrong. You know, that's real. But those are the things that you put up with or are okay with because you're in love, and, you know, people have bad days. It's just the way it is. But what I notice happens is that because very quickly, your generation is a little different than mine, like the newer generations, like they move in together in a month. They're married. Like, you know, it's like nobody dates like that. So there's no real chance to get to the worst side of somebody. So you have to like get to know them before you can judge or put any of your own shit in there. You don't even know who the fuck they are in a month. You don't. You know, I don't care if you spend every single day with them, if they tell you they're an open book, whatever. It doesn't matter, because the point is that in the beginning of relationships, everybody puts their best foot forward. And including yourself. So maybe the little jealousy traits haven't come out yet. And then something happens, you know. He couldn't come home on time. Oh my gosh. That must mean he's fucking someone. Like, I know women that think that the minute, like, a man is not, like, 100% focused on nothing but them, he's a cheater. And these are the things that just kill relationships. Or that he doesn't care, or he doesn't love me. And then they do the attention card. That attention card, first off, it's just gross behavior. But they create drama. Oh, poor me. Create drama in order to, you know, get this reaction. And at first, you know, it's kind of good. Guys like that. You know, they're the damsel in distress and they get to be the hero. Yeah, they're like that like once. And then they're like, what's going on? Where is this confident, lovely woman that I have been dating that can take care of her stuff, that I love, how independent she was? That's gone. Because now they are like strapped to everything you are as a man, and everything you feel is their feelings now. And that is such a mistake. It's like, oh, he's in a bad mood, and that makes you in a bad mood. Why? You had a great day, you know, everything's fine. If he's in a bad mood, be in a good mood to get him over it. Like, I've had two fairly successful, and I know it's two, but there was pretty special circumstances to why my husband and I broke up. And then, of course, Jeff died. But I mean, they were 20-year relationships. They were pretty successful. And if you see me and know me just listening to my tales on this medium, you know, I wouldn't just like be like, yep, all you, nothing for me. Like, that's not who I am, you know, because you shouldn't be that person. You shouldn't give your life up to some guy, you know, like, always have your life. But so many times I see these women and like, literally, their very mood depends on this guy's mood. And when they have that much control over you, they usually use it. I mean, who wouldn't really? Who wouldn't take advantage of that? Like, oh, okay, I'm mad, so you're going to run around like a fucking chicken without a head? Like crazy. And then at the same time, I've seen women do the craziest things to try and get men to like manipulate men, like with these emotional outbursts. Really, like, you want to back up and say, you want to say there's something mentally wrong with them. But that's a gimmick. That's not. They can control it. Let me tell you how I know they can control it. Stick her in a fucking concentration camp. And for her very life, she cannot behave like that. I guarantee you, she'll figure a way out of control. But see, they don't have to, because these guys, like, and that's how they lose the guy. And then they're just moping for this one person. They don't even know this person. Like, it isn't even long enough to grow anything. Like, I love him to death. No, you don't. You don't even understand love. Love isn't that first beginning feeling. Love means like like when you give it up for them, like you say, okay, like we're now a partnership, equal partnership. We're going to go down this road of life together, and I'm going to do everything I can in my power to make his life better and more fulfilled with me in it. And he's going to do the same. And that's where they miss. Like, if the guy is not giving them this attention, and okay, I'm not talking about just like being that partner, being together against the world type thing. I'm talking about when they need constant reassurance and attention, like, or there's something wrong, he's cheating, let me accuse him of 1,000 things. I see it all the time. It's like, stop. You're just ruining what you have with this guy. He now knows that you are like so insecure and so crazy that, you know, if his friend who happens to be a girl calls his phone, you're like out of your fucking mind. It's crazy. And I don't know if this one girl online was real, but I wrote her that. I said, stop being a spoiled brat. You don't need 100% attention, 100% doing what you want. Like, you're trying to get your way. You're being a child. You're throwing a tantrum. And men hate that shit. At least, here's the thing. You might find a man that puts up with it, but then that ain't a good man. He's just desperate. He's putting up with shit he shouldn't. He doesn't love you. What's there to love? So when you fall in love with somebody, don't you want to do the right thing by him? Oh, you know, and that's the other thing. So many times I see women get in these relationships with somebody, and instead of like helping the guy out or whatever, they show him his faults all day long. Who the fuck wants your mother? Nobody wants to fuck their mother. Shut the fuck up. If you didn't like his traits, why are you with him? They either baby these men, which turns you into mom. So now you're mom. You're not a girlfriend. You're not sexy. You're not alluring or secretive, or you don't have anything because you're his fucking mother. Go ahead, take care of him a little more. If you make dinner, make it together. If you do things, do it together. And if he doesn't want to do it, don't do it. Don't fucking walk that road. And if he doesn't want to do it, what are you doing with this guy? Like, there are so many men out there. Come on, there are so many men out there. You don't need this one guy. If he's not going to be the one, if you say, you know, write yourself a list. That's what I did. After I got divorced, I wrote a list of the qualities I wanted in a man. And that list had to be checked off. And so there were certain things I wanted. I wanted him to be kind. I wanted him to be sweet and gentle. I needed somebody less rough as Wolf. I wanted like the opposite of that a little bit. And I got that. I mean, write a list. What do you want in a man? I mean, number one should be that he has a fucking job. I wouldn't date anybody without a job or like a really good income. He can be wealthy. For real. You better have some form of income. Like, you're starting off that relationship very uneven in the first place. That's going to just house resentment. And, like, who wants to do that? Nobody is worth it. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I love that you're, like, in love, guys. But, like, no one man, no one person, no one girl is worth putting up with shit like that. Like, at that point, you're early on. You know they're not going to work. You just get the fuck out of the relationship. There is no relationship. It's dating. If they want you, they'll pursue. Let them pursue you. My God, a man loves a chase. They're hunters. What are you doing? Oh, yeah, here it is. Give it up. And I'm not talking sex. Hell, go have sex with whoever you want. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you really want somebody to be in a relationship with you, don't you value that enough to, like, have standards on it? Like, not just like, oh, well, whatever he wants, I'll go to work, he can stay home. Like, no, that's crazy. And it's different if you have, like, if you're married and, you know, somebody has to stay home with the kids and he's just the better husband, or you're just a better husband than him. That's a different situation. You're making a conscious decision. Financially, you can go with just the one income and have everything you need in life. That's not what I see. What I see is girls letting these guys sleep in. That is so funny. Come on. You got to find the humor in that. These guys are asleep while you're at work. What? They have your car and then they're late picking you up. Oh yeah, that's somebody I want to have a winner. I won. What the fuck? So I get very incredulous with this shit. Like, if he's a loser, he's a loser. And, like, you know it. And if you're a loser, you're a loser. If you're sitting home and you guys have a life that you can have together, but, you know, you both need to work, and you're actually going to let your children or your life or your relationship suffer over that, you're just as much of a loser as he is. Like, get up and go the fuck to work. You're young, you're healthy. Go to work. Go to work. Everybody go work. If you work, you feel better about yourself. It's good. You're away from each other. You come home. You got something to talk about. Come on. Share the dinner. Share making dinner. Share your life. You know, you're not his mom. You're not his maid. Share your life with this guy. And if he's not willing to do that, I mean, all in, 100%, get out while you can, because, you know, you might fall in love with them, and then what? Then you're going to be hurt. And so what if you're hurt? That's another thing. Like, if you're in a relationship and, like, the writing's on the wall, there's something wrong, he's not right in the head, he's not normal, he's violent, he's, you know, any of those things, and you're staying because the pain of leaving is too great, then you do need to shrink, because there's nothing in the world that should make you put up with any kind of abuse, even if it's mental abuse, even if he just says things to you, even if he just holds you back or tells you you can't go somewhere. That's another thing I saw. So many girls that I know, they're like, oh, he won't let me do that. Let you? What's he, your pimp? Let you. He won't let me. He's not your father. If you have daddy issues, go to a shrink. No. And when you fight, guys, there's no reason to fight so dirty. There's none. You don't have to call names. Why are you calling somebody you claim to love names? Would you do that to your kids? Would you say, oh, well, you know, listen, asshole? Of course not. Why are you doing it to somebody you claim you love? And the minute you do that, the minute you start going down dirty dogging, and that's what it is, just dirty dogging, just, you know, being right is not as important as, like, working out your relationship. It really isn't. Your ego doesn't need that. Jeff used to say that to me a little bit, because I'm a yeller, and he would say, just because you're loud doesn't mean you're right. And you know what? I told him, yeah, I know you're right. It's true. Just because I'm louder than you doesn't mean I'm righter. It's a true statement. He's right. I was stupid. I was being stupid about whatever it is. Don't think I never got into a fight with anybody. Of course I did. But, like, the level of fighting, the level of where we're going with it, like, it wasn't all consuming. I didn't run out screaming and crying. I didn't behave, and neither should you. Be a woman. Stand up for you. Don't let somebody walk on you. But at the same time, you know, you're in a relationship. Give it up for them sometimes. You don't always have to win. You don't always have to have a fight at all. You know, it can be something so stupid. And if you have a guy that, like, likes to fight, get the fuck out of that. It's too stressful. Life is too short. Find somebody who's kind and that you meld with and mesh with. Believe me, you'll fall in love again. My advice is get over yourselves. Understand that a relationship is two people. You don't have a right to go into his phone, but he also shouldn't be hiding shit from you. There's a half and half there, but you can't accuse if you don't know. You can't just accuse because somebody like smiles at a fucking waitress. Men love the look of women. I mean, they're supposed to, right? So what if they're looking? So what? They're going home with you. If they look at a waitress, you're going to freak out. I know people like that, I swear. They're like, oh, go home with that waitress. Like, what kind of idiot says that? Yeah, okay. You know, keep it up. One day he will. Keep pushing. Is that what you want? And it's all fear-based because women are so afraid. They're afraid you're going to cheat. They're afraid you're running away. I don't know why that is, but it's ridiculous. They're not going anywhere. Do you know how long it took for them to get used to you? Most men are notoriously not like... Listen, there are cheaters out there, but you know, if you find him cheating, leave. Don't go back. Never go back. And if he is, let it come to you. You don't need to go looking to see if he is. If it is, the truth always comes out. You'll find out. Ain't no reason to behave like that. I never was jealous. I was never cheated on either. There's something to be said about that. But I chose right. I chose men with certain morals that didn't want to be like whores. Like that was not like you know their history, their life, I totally believe that very few people when they find out their man's cheating are actually 100% shocked. I mean, very rare. I mean, it happens. But okay, so what? So what? Like, in my view, I'd rather be shocked that somebody cheated on me than be so fucking scared that 20 years through a relationship I'm accusing. I don't think I've ever accused anybody of cheating, really. I either knew, I just never was really cheated on. Like, I didn't have that bone in me. I wasn't a cheat. They weren't a cheat. And I also didn't claim a relationship until it was actually claimed, which helps. You want to call him a cheater a weekend. He can't cheat on you. You guys aren't monogamous. That's a conscious decision. It's a conversation. When you're monogamous with someone, it's a conversation that you're going to have. Okay, this is it. I'm not going to go out with anybody else, and neither are you, right? And if they say, yep, then there's your contract, And the first time, if there is a time that he or you breaks the contract, that's the end of the relationship. End it. The contract never, it's so rare that you can break a contract and then work through it. If you want to try and do that, then get help. Go see somebody because otherwise it just comes up all the time. And that resentment will kill the relationship just as well as if he was still cheating. It won't matter because it's in your head and you need to talk that through. If you go through it and you want to save it for the kids or for yourself or for whatever, it was a one-time mistake, go see somebody. Trying to do that alone is really, really difficult. Believe me. Not believe me because I don't know. Because nobody ever cheated on me because I didn't act like a freak. They said they were going out with their friends. I was like, bye. Not because I didn't care, because I had enough of my own. I have enough of me. And that's another thing. Okay, so what I get is that some people, their whole identity is like wrapped up in this other person. I got enough identity for two people. Okay, whatever. So there's like a part of, I've seen women and men who just didn't have enough of themselves. Like there wasn't enough of their own personality. So they felt like they had need to take on the other person's personality. You need to know who you are before you can even go to a relationship and bring anything. Like, how is somebody going to love you? RuPaul says that. How are you going to love somebody if you can't even love yourself? Like, if you don't love the traits that you have about yourself, how the fuck are you going to walk into a relationship and be anything but like thinking that you're doing something wrong for this person you love. That's crazy pants. Like, you have to feel enough of yourself. You've got to be enough of yourself that you're like, I'm bringing lots of things to the table that improve this relationship. I am bringing, you know, my this, my that, whatever it is. But you have to be able to say that to yourself, not to other people, to you. Oh, lipstick's crooked. Okay, you're not in love in a week. He's not, you know, the only man in the world or woman in the world. Understand that there's a level of respect you have to carry about yourself. You have to love yourself enough to make sure that somebody doesn't cross your lines. Write down those lines. Write down the qualities you want in somebody. Check off the list. There's somebody else out there. Don't be desperate. Don't go along with things just because you think this might be the one. If he's already showing signs and symptoms of not doing the things that you might want to do in your life and whatnot, get the fuck rid of him. Go to the next. There's another guy out there, I swear. Don't be so afraid to be alone or dependent on yourself, because that's actually probably the underlying cause of a lot of this. You don't want to depend on yourself. You want somebody else to take over and help and this and that. I know life's hard. It's hard out there. Just stick with me. We'll get right through it. And you'll find the right one, and he will be a partner and a help. And you guys can map out your lives together in a reasonable way and make love and have fun and be spontaneous and love each other and overcome problems that, even though you might think they're unsurmountable, they really aren't, because you're together and you love each other and you can handle them together. I know. I've done it twice. I love you guys. Bye. Oh, if you'd like to follow me down the rabbit hole that is my life, hit the button down below and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. If you like any of these advice videos, a thumbs down. If you don't, either way, gotcha, watch me. Manifest something wonderful in your life if you know it. Think, believe it, you can have it too. Like a relationship where you don't have to act out like a crazy lady to get attention. You don't always need attention. Sometimes you just need to live life and enjoy. Stop worrying. Stop being afraid. Everything's going to be okay.